Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step out of that seat. You're clearly in the wrong section. The voice cuts through first-class cabin ambiance, like a blade through silk. Karen Mitchell, senior cabin manager for Sky High Airlines, plants her feet shoulder-width apart before seat 2A. Her crossed arms create a barrier as formidable as any security checkpoint. Danielle Brooks slowly lifts her gaze from the quarterly reports glowing on her laptop screen. The Patek Philippe on her wrist catches overhead lighting as she reaches for her boarding pass. I believe there's been a misunderstanding. Here's my documentation. Her voice carries the weight of countless boardroom negotiations. Karen's eyes narrow to slits. The boarding pass trembles slightly in her manicured grip. This must be fake. Security, we have a situation in first class. The words echo through the premium cabin like a judge's gavel. 47 heads turn in unison. Danielle Brooks maintains the stillness of deep water while chaos swirls around her. Her charcoal Armani suit bears no logos, the fabric whispering money in a language only the truly wealthy understand. Natural curls pulled into a low bun reveal the elegant curve of her neck, adorned with nothing but confidence. The laptop screen reflects spreadsheets dense with numbers that would make most CEOs sweat. Brooks International's subtle watermark pulses in the corner like a heartbeat. Karen Mitchell has perfected the art of judgment in 22 years of service. Her blonde hair sits in a regulation bun so tight it pulls at her temples. 3 employee excellence pins. Lisa Parkman adjusts her phone angle from seat 3B, ensuring perfect lighting catches both women's faces. Her 2.8 million TikTok followers expect quality content, and this confrontation promises viral gold. The travel blogger's fingers dance across her screen, adding captions in real time. When privilege meets prejudice at 30,000 feet appears in bold letters. Her follower count ticks upward like an altimeter during ascent. Robert Kingsley observes from seat 1A with the detached interest of someone watching a nature documentary. His $5,000 suit fits like a second skin, accumulated wealth evident in every thread. The pharmaceutical CEO's wife tugs at his sleeve, whispering urgently about intervention. He shakes his head minutely, gray eyebrows furrowing. "Not our circus," he murmurs, though his fingers drum nervously on the armrest. 2 airport security officers materialize at the cabin entrance. Marcus Thompson, 6 feet of contained power, hesitates at the threshold. Recognition flickers across his dark features like lightning before a storm. His partner Tony Castellano bounces on his heels, eager energy radiating from his compact frame. "What's the situation, Karen?" Tony's voice carries the confidence of someone who's never been profiled. Karen's gesture toward Danielle slices through air thick with tension. "This passenger refuses to vacate a first-class seat. I've examined her ticket, and it's clearly not the type of document someone like her would possess for an $8,000 fare." Danielle's movements flow like choreographed dance as she opens her wallet. The American Express black card emerges between 2 fingers, its titanium surface catching light like a mirror. She places it on the tray table with the precision of a chess grandmaster, making a decisive move. "Does this qualify as proof that I'm the type who purchases first-class tickets?" The question hangs in recycled air like suspended judgment. Karen's eyes narrow further, creating crow's feet that betray her age despite Botox attempts. "Anyone can obtain a fake card. Tony, please escort this woman from the aircraft." Her voice climbs half an octave, authority cracking like thin ice under spring sun. Sweat beads form along her hairline, despite the cabin's 68-degree temperature. Marcus leans close to his partner, voice low but urgent. Man, I think we should verify this situation before taking action. Something doesn't feel right. His hand hovers near his radio, a lifetime of navigating similar situations evident in his caution. Tony waves him off like shooing a fly. Karen's the cabin manager. We follow her lead. Ma'am, please gather your belongings and come with us. Danielle's phone appears in her hand with magician's speed. She taps 3 numbers, activating speaker mode. Brian, I need you to record this call immediately. Yes, this instant. A deep male voice fills the cabin through the phone's speaker. Recording now, Ms. Brooks. What's happening? The legal precision in his tone suggests expensive education and even more expensive retainer fees. I'm currently being removed from my first-class seat on Sky High Airlines Flight 447. Please note the time, 2:32 p.m., December 20. Lisa's camera zooms in on Karen's face, catching the exact moment confidence transforms into concern. The cabin manager's complexion shifts through a spectrum from red to white, like a mood ring in distress. Robert Kingsley finally acts, pulling out his phone with sudden urgency. Jim, are you still at the airport? We have a situation developing on Flight 447. His voice carries the authority of someone accustomed to people jumping when he speaks. The cabin atmosphere thickens like sauce reducing on high heat. 47 passengers hold 47 phones aloft, creating a forest of digital witnesses. The collective recording creates an electronic hum beneath the engine noise. History unfolds in real time, captured in high definition from multiple angles. Karen stands at the epicenter of a social media storm she doesn't yet comprehend, while Danielle remains the eye of the hurricane, calm and calculating. Karen snatches Marcus's phone with the desperation of someone grasping for a life preserver. This can't be real! It's Photoshop! Deep fake technology! People like… The words screech to a halt as 47 cameras pivot toward her. The sentence hangs unfinished. A noose she almost tied around her own neck. I mean, anyone can fabricate an online profile these days. Perspiration creates tiny rivers down her foundation, mapping the geography of her panic. Danielle's voice flows through the speakerphone like honey laced with steel. Brian, can you hear this clearly? Contact Jonathan Chen at Sky High immediately. Inform him we need to discuss the $500 million contract. Brian's response crackles with professional efficiency. The 5-year exclusive cargo… Lisa Parkman's live stream counter spins like a slot machine hitting jackpot. 45,000 viewers become 90,000 in 30 seconds. Comments cascade down her screen in multiple languages. Destroying racism in real time? Get her, Danielle. Sky High stock about to crash, she whispers to her audience with influencer-perfected drama. Y'all, we're witnessing corporate murder. Stay tuned. Robert Kingsley rises from his seat, his 6'3" frame commanding attention without effort. Karen, I strongly suggest you reconsider your actions. I'm Robert Kingsley, CEO of MedTech Solutions. Ms. Brooks and I signed a $50 million partnership last month. His Harvard Business School ring catches the light as he gestures. You're making a catastrophic error that will echo through quarterly reports for years. Karen's body language shifts from aggressive to defensive, shoulders curling inward like a dying plant. Mr. Kingsley, I didn't recognize you in casual attire, but this woman doesn't look like… she's not wearing… Tony places a warning hand on her arm. Karen, stop talking. Every word is making this worse. His streetwise Brooklyn accent carries hard-earned wisdom about when to shut up. Danielle stands with the fluid grace of a ballet dancer, each movement deliberate and powerful. Her 5'9" frame fills the aisle with quiet authority. Please, Ms. Mitchell, complete your thought. Explain to 15 million viewers what I don't look like. She gestures. Another passenger rises, designer heels clicking against the cabin floor. Sarah Chen adjusts her Hermes scarf before speaking. I'm recording this interaction as a witness. Sarah Chen, senior partner at Chen & Associates. Ms. Mitchell's actions constitute clear racial profiling with potential federal civil rights violations. Her Yale law degree practically radiates from her posture. I've documented everything from the beginning. Marcus steps backward, hands raised in surrender. I'm not participating in this. Karen, you're on your own. I've warned you repeatedly about profiling passengers based on appearance. His voice carries the weight of compromises made, dignity swallowed, paychecks prioritized over principles. Tony mirrors his retreat. This exceeds airport security protocols. We're not your personal enforcement squad. Karen stands alone in the aisle, an island of prejudice surrounded by an ocean of witnesses. I'm simply performing my duties, protecting the safety and comfort of our premium passengers. Her voice cracks like ice under pressure. When someone doesn't belong in first class, I have every right to... The sentence trails off as Danielle interrupts with surgical precision. Define belong for us, Ms. Mitchell. What specific criteria determine who belongs in first class? Danielle's question hangs in the air like a prosecutor's closing argument. The cabin falls silent, except for the white noise of engines and air circulation. Even the usual dings and chimes seem to pause in anticipation of Karen's response. Danielle's phone vibrates with incoming call. She answers on speaker, flooding the cabin with panicked male voice. Danielle, oh God, I'm watching the live stream. This is Jonathan Chen from Sky High. I'm horrified beyond words. Karen Mitchell doesn't represent our values. She'll be terminated immediately. Danielle's smile could freeze helium. Slow down, Jonathan. This isn't about one individual. This is about systemic failure. Lisa pans her camera across the cabin in a slow, damning arc. Count with me, family. How many black passengers in first class? The lens captures 47 faces. 3 black, 44 white. 3 out of 47. Yet who's the only person asked to leave? The mathematical simplicity of discrimination laid bare in real-time demographics. Captain James Harrison bursts through the cockpit door, his face flushed from rushing. What in God's name is happening? Karen? Why is corporate calling about a viral video? His eyes land on Danielle, and recognition dawns like a horrible sunrise. Ms. Brooks? Christ almighty! Karen, what have you done to our highest value client? Karen reaches for the captain like a drowning woman spotting driftwood. Jim! Her ticket looked suspicious. I've checked it 3 times. Harrison's expression shifts from confusion to horror. I personally upgraded Ms. Brooks to first class this morning. She flies with us 200 days a year. You just harassed a customer who spends $2 million annually with Sky High. Danielle checks her Patek Philippe with theatrical precision. 1447. We've been delayed 15 minutes due to Ms. Mitchell's discriminatory actions. Brian, calculate productivity losses for 47 first-class passengers. Send the invoice to Sky High's legal department. Brian's voice returns immediately. Calculated. 15-minute delay equals approximately $234,000 in combined productivity loss. Robert Kingsley laughs, the sound sharp as breaking crystal. Brilliant strategy. I'll send my invoice too. $15,000 for my 15 minutes. Sarah Chen nods approvingly. My billable rate is $1,200 per hour. Invoice forthcoming. The cabin transforms into an impromptu accounting department. Lisa zooms in on Karen's face, capturing the precise moment blood drains from red to white to green. Ladies and gentlemen, witness how one airline destroys itself in real time. Sky High. Airlines, where employee bias costs more than first-class tickets. The viewer count hits 28.7 million. Sky High so low. Trends number 1, worldwide across all platforms. When systems protect discrimination, we use power to create change. Black Voices Now. Your story matters. Danielle returns to her seat with unhurried grace, reopening her laptop. I have a conference call with Tokyo in 10 minutes. Ms. Mitchell, you can continue harassing me or allow me to work. Every minute you waste will be itemized on the damage invoice. Her fingers fly across the keyboard, multitasking destruction with everyday business. Karen freezes like a statue, career options evaporating with each second. Her phone buzzes incessantly with messages from corporate, each vibration another nail in her professional coffin. Captain Harrison shakes his head slowly. Karen, return to the office. Immediately. That's an order. But she can't move, trapped between advancing disgrace and retreating into unemployment. The laptop screen illuminates with an incoming email, sender name visible to nearby passengers. Richard Stone, CEO, 500M Airlines. The subject line screams in capital letters, "Urgent, please don't cancel our contract." The preview text begs with corporate desperation. Danielle's smile grows wider, shark-like, scenting blood in the water. Danielle angles her laptop screen toward the cabin, ensuring maximum visibility of the CEO's desperate email. Dear Ms. Brian's voice cuts through the speaker like a scalpel through flesh. Danielle, I've pulled 5 years of discrimination complaints against Sky High, 847 formal complaints filed. Only 12 resulted in any action. Karen Mitchell alone has 73 complaints. The numbers hang in the air like a verdict. She received 3 promotions and annual bonuses throughout this period. The cabin falls silent enough to hear watches ticking. Lisa's camera captures every jaw dropping in unison. 73 complaints? 73? She spins to face Karen directly. And you're still here? Still harassing black passengers? Comments explode across her screen faster than anyone can read. Systemic! Burn it down! DOJ, where you at? Viewer count rockets past 42.8 million. Danielle rises again, laptop balanced in one hand like a weapon of mass corporate destruction. Would you like to know why I chose Sky High for our $500 million contract? Her voice carries the measured cadence of someone delivering a eulogy. I believed every company deserves a chance to change. I was wrong. She types as she speaks. Brian, send the contract termination memo. Copy all board members. The laptop screen flickers to life with incoming video call. Richard Stone's panicked face fills the display, sweat streaming despite his climate-controlled office. Ms. Brooks, please, wait! I'm flying from Dallas right now. Give me 2 hours. His 58-year-old features contort with desperation. Karen will be terminated immediately, I promise. Danielle rotates the laptop, giving the entire first-class cabin a front-row seat to CEO panic. Fire Karen? After 73 complaints and 5 years of enabling? Too little, too late. Her words land like judges' gavels. The problem isn't Karen. The problem is the system that creates 100 Karens. Stone's face cycles through shades. Robert Kingsley interjects with businessman's timing. Richard, old friend, MedTech is reviewing our contract with Sky High, too. His announcement carries the weight of $35 million annual dollars. Perhaps we need an airline that doesn't require diversity training to see our humanity. Sarah Chen stands in solidarity. Chen and associates will be moving our $8 million in annual travel, effective immediately. The domino effect begins in real time. 15 first-class passengers rise like a corporate jury delivering verdict. Each announces their company's intention to cancel Sky High contracts. The combined annual value exceeds $200 million. Mathematics of discrimination calculated in lost revenue while the CEO watches helplessly through digital connection. Karen collapses into an empty seat, her carefully constructed superiority crumbling like ancient architecture. "I was just following training," she whispers to no one and everyone. "They told us to be vigilant about unusual passengers in premium cabins." Her voice breaks on the word unusual. "To profile anyone who didn't match the typical first-class demographic." The cabin erupts. "What training?" multiple voices demand simultaneously. "Define unusual." The questions bombard Karen from all directions. She huddles smaller, decades of ingrained prejudice finally exposed to light. Cameras capture every angle of her dissolution. Danielle's voice cuts through chaos with surgical precision. "Please, Ms. Mitchell, define unusual for 43 million viewers." Marcus suddenly steps forward, years of silence breaking like a dam. "I can't stay quiet anymore. 6 years I've worked here. I know exactly what training she means." His hands shake as he pulls out his phone. PowerPoint presentation titled, "Identifying Security Risks in Premium Cabins." 47 slides total. His voice gains strength with each word. Slides 23 through 31 show exclusively black and brown faces labeled potential fraud indicators. Lisa nearly drops her phone in shock. "Receipts! He's got receipts!" She zooms in on Marcus's phone screen as he scrolls through saved photos. "Y'all seeing this? They got a whole racist PowerPoint." The damning evidence streams to millions of viewers simultaneously. Comments scroll too fast to read, a digital waterfall of outrage. CEO Stone's face drains of remaining color on the video call. "Marcus, that's proprietary material. You signed an NDA." His admission of the material's authenticity lands like a confession in open court. Danielle pounces on the mistake. "You just confirmed these training materials exist? On livestream to 50 million viewers?" She turns to the cabin. "Brian, did you record that admission?" "Every word," Brian confirms through the speaker. "Forwarding to our legal team. Class action lawsuit will be filed within the hour." The mechanical precision of legal machinery grinding into motion reverberates through the cabin. Justice measured in billable hours and punitive damages. Captain Harrison takes the intercom with shaking hands. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking." His voice breaks with emotion. "I've served Sky High for 24 flight attendants emerge from the galley, forming a line in the aisle. Each bows their head toward Danielle in synchronized shame. The gesture speaks louder than words, acknowledging systematic failure beyond individual prejudice. Their pressed uniforms suddenly look like costumes in a morality play. Karen stands abruptly, mascara creating black rivers down her cheeks. "I'm not a bad person?" The declaration rings hollow in the evidence-filled air. "I have a daughter. I donate to the NAACP. I have black friends." The classic defense trilogy tumbles out in desperate succession. Lisa's camera captures every cliché excuse. There it is, folks. The "I have black friends" card. Bingo. Danielle opens her briefcase with deliberate ceremony, extracting a bound document thick as a phone book. Contract number 23SH500M between Brooks International and Sky High Airlines. She flips to a bookmarked page. Clause 47.3. Severe discrimination violations permit immediate termination without penalty. Her signature flows across the termination letter like a judge signing a death warrant. CEO Stone's virtual presence practically vibrates with panic. $500 million. Our stock will crash. 50,000 employees will suffer. His appeals to sympathy fall flat in the chamber of accumulated evidence. Danielle meets his digital gaze without flinching. Correction. 50,000 employees working for a company that institutionalizes racism. They deserve better leadership. The phone in Danielle's hand buzzes with incoming call. The caller ID stops everyone cold. Department of Justice. She answers with the confidence of someone expecting this exact. Danielle activates speakerphone with practiced calm. Assistant Attorney General Williams, I was expecting your call. The male voice resonating through first class carries federal authority. Ms. Brooks, the Department of Justice has monitored this live stream since minute 10. We're opening a formal investigation into Sky High Airlines for systematic discrimination. 43 million viewers witness history being written in real time. Will you testify? CEO Stone remains on video call, his complexion shifting from pale to gray like dying embers. DOJ? No, wait, we'll change. Internal review, new policies. His corporate speak tumbles out in panicked fragments. Danielle's laugh cuts through his desperation like ice through flame. Too late for damage control, Richard, but I'll offer you one chance. Exactly one. Her fingers fly across the laptop keyboard, creating a document visible to the entire cabin. I'm drafting a revolutionary airline equity agreement right now. The title appears in bold letters across the screen. Sign and implement immediately, and I'll reconsider the contract cancellation. Each clause materializes as she types. Corporate revolution born from first-class discrimination. The agreement terms scroll past like credits at Justice's premiere. Immediate termination of all leadership enabling discrimination. 40% of management positions filled by people of color within 18 months. Blind booking system preventing staff from seeing passenger names or ethnicities during check-in. Body cameras mandatory for gate agents and cabin managers. Lisa reads each point aloud for her audience. Y'all seeing this? She's rewriting the entire airline industry. Comments explode across multiple languages and time zones. Game changer! Every company needs this! Brooks for president! Viewer count shatters records at 67.2 million concurrent streams. Karen erupts from her seat like a volcano of privilege. This isn't fair. I'll sue. This is reverse racism. Her voice cracks with the desperation of someone watching their worldview crumble. Marcus turns toward her, with 6 years of suppressed anger finally finding voice. Karen, sit down. 73 complaints. 73. His next words land like hammers. Complaint number 72 was about me. You said I didn't have the right bearing for security. The cabin gasps collectively. Marcus continues. Damn fully broken now. I stayed silent because I needed this job. My kids needed health insurance, but today, enough is enough. His phone displays screenshot after screenshot of discriminatory emails, racist jokes, coded language about those people. Each image another nail in systemic racism's coffin. An elderly passenger rises slowly from seat 5A, age-spotted hands gripping the headrest for support. I'm Dr. Jerome Washington. 45 years I've saved lives as a cardiac surgeon. His voice carries the weight of decades endured. Thousands of hearts repaired by these hands. Yet every flight I'm randomly selected for additional screening. Tears stream down weathered cheeks. Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Finally, someone with enough power to fight back. Danielle's eyes glisten, but her voice remains steel. This isn't about me, Dr. Washington. This is about your grandchildren. Captain Harrison grabs the intercom with sudden resolve. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. His words ring through the aircraft like bells of change. If Sky High refuses to sign this agreement, I'll resign. 25 years of service, but enough is enough. 4 flight attendants step forward in solidarity. "We stand with Captain Harrison." Their chorus of support ripples through the cabin. 12 first-class passengers rise simultaneously, business titans making their positions clear. "Count us in. Full boycott if they don't sign." The economic implications calculate themselves in real time. Sky-high stock price plummets 23% on Lisa's phone screen. Breaking news banners cascade across multiple apps. DOJ launches federal investigation into Sky-high Airlines. Danielle continues her countdown with metronomic precision. 30, 29, 28. Brian's voice cuts through the speaker. "Danielle, 5 competing airlines just called. They want the contract." He lists the offers with auctioneer speed. United offering $550 million. Delta promises $600 million. Southwest bid $650 million with diversity guarantee already in place. The cabin erupts in capitalist celebration. Free market competition meets social justice in a devastating combination. Karen sinks lower in her seat, tears creating abstract art with her makeup. "I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I was wrong." But her apologies drown in the tide of systemic change. 10, 9, 8. Danielle's countdown continues relentlessly. CEO Stone, "I'll sign!" Stone's scream cuts through all other sound. "Send the agreement! I'll sign immediately!" His capitulation comes with the force of corporate surrender. Danielle's smile appears for the first time, sharp as a blade. "DocuSign heading to your email. You have 5 minutes to execute." Lisa turns her camera toward herself, influencer instincts kicking in. "Family, we just witnessed history. A black woman rewrote airline industry rules in real time." Her voice breaks with emotion. "This isn't about one seat. This is about the right to exist in every space we've earned." Comments scroll too fast for human comprehension. Digital approval in 1,000 languages. Email notification chimes through the cabin. Stone's digital signature appears on the Revolutionary Airline Equity Agreement. Danielle reviews each page with lawyer's precision before nodding. The $500 million contract is reinstated, with conditions. She pauses for effect. "Marcus Thompson will serve as Sky High's first Chief Diversity Officer." Marcus staggers backward in shock. "From security guard to C-suite?" Disbelief colors every syllable. Danielle meets his eyes directly. "You showed courage when it cost you everything. That's leadership." She names his compensation package. $250,000 base salary plus stock options vesting over 4 years. Dr. Washington begins slow applause that spreads through first class like wildfire. "This is what real affirmative action looks like." The ovation builds until the cabin rings with approval. Karen rises to leave, shame painting her features darker than any makeup. Danielle's voice stops her mid-aisle. "Ms. Mitchell, one more thing." The cabin falls silent again, anticipating final justice. "You have 2 choices. 6 months unpaid diversity training followed by community service, or I pursue personal litigation for all 73 complaints." Karen turns back, mascara-stained face crumbling completely. "My mother would be proud if she could see this." Her next words shock everyone into stillness. "She was black. I've denied half of myself my entire life." The twist lands like a nuclear detonation in the confined space. The aircraft remains parked at the gate 30 minutes later, transformed into a historical landmark. No passenger moves toward the exit despite freedom to leave. Lisa maintains her live stream, viewer count steady at 89 million. Update family, Ellen just shared. Oprah commented, "This is the revolution." Barack Obama retweeted, calling this change we can believe in. Notifications cascade across every phone screen like digital confetti. CEO Stone reappears on video, flanked by crisis management executives. His prepared statement reads like corporate poetry. Sky-High Airlines commits to comprehensive transformation, effective immediately. Karen Mitchell and 14 senior executives have been terminated without Danielle opens her laptop, creating a website with developer speed. Flywithdignity.com launches today. This platform will track every airline's diversity metrics in real time. Her fingers blur across keys, building accountability architecture. Transparent reporting of complaints, demographics, resolution rates. No more hiding behind corporate veils. She announces initial funding. Brooks International commits $10 million for Year 1 operations. Robert Kingsley rises with billionaire timing. MedTech adds $5 million to that commitment. This represents the future of corporate responsibility. His pronouncement triggers an avalanche of support. Sarah Chen pledges pro bono legal services for discrimination victims. 12 other first-class passengers commit resources. $50 million materializes in 15 minutes. Capitalism redirected toward justice. Marcus receives his promotion publicly. New Chief Diversity Officer badge gleaming under cabin lights. His first executive decision rings with authority. Every Sky-High employee undergoes mandatory retraining starting tomorrow. Not PowerPoints about political correctness. Real education about unconscious bias with measurable outcomes. He pauses for emphasis. Body cameras activate for all customer-facing staff. Complaint reductions must hit 50% within 90 days, or management changes follow. Breaking news alerts cascade across phone screens. CNN broadcasts live from the terminal. Congress announces emergency hearing on airline discrimination. Senator Elizabeth Warren tweets demanding federal legislation. Karen Mitchell approaches Danielle one final time, her facade completely shattered. My mother was Grace Washington. She died when I was 12. Raw honesty replaces decades of deception. My father forbade me from acknowledging my black heritage, said life would be easier if I passed. Her voice breaks on suppressed history. I projected my self-hatred onto every black passenger for 36 years. The confession hangs between them like a bridge under construction. Danielle extends her hand with deliberate grace. Healing begins with truth, Karen. I'll sponsor your therapy and retraining personally. The handshake seals more than forgiveness. It acknowledges shared pain transformed into possibility. Your mother's legacy doesn't have to die with denial. Dr. Washington approaches Karen with grandfather's wisdom. I knew your mother, child. Grace Washington was the finest cardiac nurse I ever worked with. His revelation stops Karen's breathing. She would be heartbroken seeing you deny her legacy, but redemption remains possible. The old surgeon's blessing carries weight beyond words. Reclaim your whole self. It's never too late. Federal Aviation Administration Director materializes on Danielle's phone screen. Ms. Brooks, the President requests your service as Aviation Equity Czar. Transform the entire industry with unlimited budget and direct White House access. The offer hangs like a golden apple. Danielle considers carefully. I accept conditionally. Marcus serves as my deputy with full authority in my absence. Competing airlines flood the communication channels. United's CEO promises immediate adoption of the equity agreement. Delta pledges to exceed the 40% diversity target within 12 months. Southwest announces lifetime free flights for Lisa addresses her massive audience with influencer authority. Let me recap for new viewers. Black woman CEO gets kicked from first class. Turns out she controls $500 million in contracts. Now the entire airline industry gets reformed in 2 hours. Her summary captures the David versus Goliath narrative perfectly. Lesson learned: never underestimate Black women with receipts, lawyers, and live streams. Passengers begin self-organizing without prompting. Frequent Flyer Alliance for Equality crystallizes from shared experience. QR codes spread through the cabin like beneficial virus. 10,000 members join within 10 minutes, connected by commitment to accountability. Their mission statement writes itself: monitor and report discrimination across all transportation modes. Captain Harrison's voice fills the aircraft with emotion. Ladies and gentlemen, history happened on this aircraft today. Flight 447 will be permanently renamed Freedom Flight 447. His announcement triggers standing ovation. December 20th becomes Annual Airline Equality Day. This flight operates free on that date forever, prioritizing those who faced discrimination. Change happens when we refuse silence. Black voices now. Amplifying truth. Creating justice. Final statistics flash across Lisa's phone screen like scoreboard of justice. 92.3 million viewers witnessed transformation. 14 airlines committed to reform within 4 hours. $2.4 billion pledged for diversity initiatives. One woman's refusal to accept discrimination. Danielle stands with a briefcase in hand, power radiating from her presence. I actually do need to reach Tokyo for that conference call. But first, who wants to join a company that genuinely values diversity? 20 hands rise immediately, business cards exchanged like promises of better futures. Brooks International gains elite talent, while Sky High bleeds human capital. 6 months later, Marcus Thompson occupies a corner office at Sky High headquarters, walls decorated with diversity metrics showing 87% complaint reduction. 43% of leadership positions now held by people of color, exceeding targets ahead of schedule. His family photo sits prominently on the executive desk, wife and children beaming with pride beside him at the White House ceremony, where he received the Presidential Medal for Corporate Courage. Lisa Parkman graces the Time magazine cover under the headline, "The Influencer Who Changed Aviation." Her 47 million followers witness daily victories through Fly with Dignity Foundation, which she now leads as CEO. The documentary 2 Hours That Changed the Sky just received Oscar nomination for Best Documentary Feature. Her influence extends beyond social media into corporate boardrooms worldwide. Karen Mitchell teaches at Harlem Community Center, legally renamed Grace Karen Mitchell to honor both parents. She guides mixed heritage youth through identity struggles she understands intimately. Her therapy graduation certificate hangs beside her. Dr. Jerome Washington serves as senior advisor to the Department of Transportation, his lifetime of quiet dignity finally wielding institutional power. The Washington Protocol ensures medical professionals travel without harassment, their healing hands recognized above skin color. His memoir, First Class Citizen, tops bestseller lists for 20 consecutive weeks, proceeds funding the Grace Washington Memorial Scholarship for Black medical students. Inside the United Nations General Assembly, Danielle Brooks addresses representatives from 193 nations. 6 months ago, I was denied a seat I purchased. Today, we signed the International Aviation Equality Charter. Her words echo through the chamber where humanity's highest ideals take form. When we transform discrimination into legislation, we don't just change policies, we change possibilities for generations unborn. The massive screen behind her displays transformation metrics. Sky High stock price increased 340% after implementing reforms. 17 airlines globally adopted the Revolutionary Equity Agreement. 0 discrimination lawsuits filed in 6 months, an industry record. 50,000 jobs created through diversity initiatives. Numbers tell the story, but human faces behind statistics matter more. Former CEO Richard Stone teaches business ethics at Harvard. His fall from power transformed into educational purpose. "I lost my title, but found my conscience," he tells packed lecture halls. The case study of Flight 447 becomes required reading in every MBA program globally. His book, The $500 Million Bias, donates all proceeds to anti-discrimination nonprofits. 1 year later, Danielle returns to seat 2A on the anniversary Freedom Flight 447. Marcus sits beside her as equals, 2 leaders who transformed crisis into change. Karen serves coffee as a volunteer, her journey from perpetrator to advocate complete. Dr. Washington occupies seat 5A, wearing a pin reading, "Grace lives on," his peaceful smile reflecting justice achieved. Lisa live streams the reunion to millions worldwide. 1 year ago, racism ruled this cabin. Today, reconciliation reigns. Hearts and rainbow emojis flood the comments section. Flight 447. Anniversary trends globally with 50 million posts sharing personal discrimination stories and triumph moments. The movement sparked in first class spreads economy-wide. Captain Harrison, promoted to CEO after Stone's resignation, makes his announcement. "Welcome aboard Freedom Flight 447. This flight remains forever free for anyone who faced discrimination." His voice carries the weight of promises kept. Today's crew represents 12 nationalities, all genders, every background, because dignity has no price tag and respect requires no first-class ticket. Danielle gazes through the window at clouds below, reflecting on the journey from humiliation to revolution. Power without purpose breeds corruption, but power channeled toward justice moves mountains. One woman's refusal to accept prejudice catalyzed global change. The view from 30,000 feet looks different when everyone has equal access to the heights. The final frame splits into 4 quadrants, showing simultaneous progress. Congress passes the Brooks Act, making transportation. Closing message appears on black screen. On December 20th, one woman refused silence. 89 million people witnessed. An entire industry transformed. But real change begins with you. When you see injustice, speak. When you have power, act. When you witness wrong, record. Rosa Parks had buses. Danielle Brooks had airlines. What will you have? Your moment awaits. Subscribe to Black Voices now, where your story becomes history. Final statistics fade in. 2.7 billion people reached. 1,847 discrimination cases resolved.